SPIRE B, Enrollment Requests and Overrides. With SPIRE B access, you will be able to enroll students in classes, drop classes from a student's schedule, override class requisites, swap one class for another in a student's schedule, enroll students in classes requiring instructor and/or departmental consent using the permission number override. You can put students on waiting lists for classes, change students' waiting list positions, specify the instructor for certain classes, for example, independent studies, and change the grading basis and more for students in classes. Your SPIRE B access, that is to say, your access to perform enrollment requests, only applies to your subject areas. You most likely specified your subject areas on the SPIRE Access Request form after you selected Enrollment Requests and Overrides. Your subject area access is approved and set by the registrar's office, and any future tweaks will need to go through them. But SPIRE Training and User Support are more than happy to help you with that. Enrollment requests for students made for classes that happen to be outside of your subject areas will result in errors, and such requests will not be processed. To handle enrollment requests outside of your subject areas, you may wish to contact someone in the relevant department or possibly the registrar's office, and in many cases the students will be able to perform those enrollments by themselves. Students and the academic calendar. Students are able to perform many class enrollment actions themselves in SPIRE depending on the academic calendar. But with enrollment requests within your subject areas, you can do even more. Students may be able to perform enrollment actions that you can't do, in particular for classes that are outside of your subject areas. One thing that's interesting to note, and something you should really pay attention to, is the fact that the functionality of the enrollment request page will change depending on the academic calendar, just as the functionality of enrollments change for students depending on the academic calendar. Student and user information is protected in this training. I've chosen a Harry Potter theme to protect all student and user information in this training. All of the SPIRE pages presented here are screen captures of actual SPIRE pages being used to perform enrollment requests, look up existing enrollment requests, set data entry defaults, display class rosters, and more. All student and user data have been overwritten with fake data that in most cases doesn't exist in SPIRE at all. For example, names and EMPL IDs. All names have been replaced with characters from Harry Potter. We will be logging in as Professor Albus Dumbledore, and all enrollments will be for our student Hermione Granger. Data entry defaults. SPIRE has a special page that allows you to set data entry defaults for yourself that are used throughout the system. The values that you set on your data entry defaults page are used throughout SPIRE to fill in many default values on pages and forms. Term, for example, 1203, which is spring semester 2020, academic career, academic institution, are just a few good examples of useful data entry defaults that you can set on your own page. Setting your default subject area can be convenient for enrollment requests because it automatically populates subject on the class search page, which uses a large drop-down list, which could be cumbersome to go through every time you search for a class. Setting your default term is convenient because it automatically populates term on the enrollment request page. The subject area and the term are also used on other pages throughout SPIRE, like searching for class rosters, to make things even more convenient. To navigate to the data entry default page, go to Main Menu, My SPIRE, Data Entry Defaults. You'll notice that we're logged in here as Albus Dumbledore, and these are his data entry defaults. He doesn't have a default subject area. A lot of people, when they first are given a SPIRE account will have no subject area, and that's fine. You don't have to specify one here, but it does mean that you will have to look up the subject area of choice every time that it appears on a form in SPIRE. All of the examples in our training are for anthropology. So I'm going to set Albus's subject area to anthro so that it will be used on all of our examples. You can also set the term. 1203 is spring semester of 2020. All you have to do is click Save, and that will save all of your data entry defaults. I would like to draw your attention to the tabs at the top of the page. You'll notice that we are just setting the data entry defaults for one tab, and there are many, many tabs in this area. So I would encourage you to explore and see if there are anything other values that you might wish to use.